Hey guys, so this video was not planned at all, and if I've learned anything the past month or so, it's that not everything you plan goes as planned, and that's okay because everything happens for a reason and God has a plan for your life. Even if you can't see it, even if you don't understand in the moment, He has a plan for your life, and I have really accepted that lately, and that has a lot to do with the video. So, with that being said, not everything goes as planned, and I planned for my first YouTube video to be an introduction, like about me, but I feel like I need to tell you guys everything that's happened the last 2 days in my life. So, about 2 days ago, I was on Facebook, and I'm in this group chat that sells clothes and other things, and it's actually like based in Richmond where I go to college. I'm at my dorm right now, but I'm on break because school's not going on, so I've actually been at home, but when school starts, I'll come here. I was just scrolling through my Facebook and I saw that there was a job opening at a daycare, and although I'm not really like familiar with kids, like I don't have siblings or cousins or anything like that, I was like, wow, that sounds like a really good job. Like, it didn't pay much, but I don't really care because it sounded like a great job and something that would look really good on my resume no matter what job I picked, what career path I take. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna apply. So I applied, and literally like 20 minutes after I sent the application, I got a call and they were like, hey, we want you to come in for an interview. So I was like, okay, I can come in tomorrow, whenever. The day came, and I got ready. It was at 11, I got up at 8. Okay, I forgot to mention that the day I was talking about, it was today. Like, this all happened today. So that would have been a good thing to say. I guess I just slipped my mind. So, on my way, I turned on worship music, and I'm just singing my songs, driving, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pray about what I'm gonna major in, because that's really the thing I've been praying about the most lately. Because if you know me, you know that is something I've literally stressed myself out about for years, and as time has dwindled down, I really don't have that much more time to choose a major because I'm a freshman. I've already gotten through my first semester. Like, I really need to start taking classes now, or as soon as possible, as soon as I can. So it was really stressing me out. So really, that's about the only thing I've prayed about for the last little bit. So before I could even form a thought or say a word, I just feel that God said elementary education. And if you know me at all, you know that my family has always wanted me to be a teacher, and I've always said that basically I'd rather do anything than be a teacher, and that was true up until today. It wasn't something I was ever considering. It was completely off the table. I would have told you that I would rather suck a jean jacket through a coffee stir than become a teacher. And that was that. It was not up for discussion, and it was never ever something I considered, never ever something I would have considered. But when God speaks very clearly to you, you should listen. So, as clear as that sign was, I mean, I have never felt God speak to me so clearly and vividly than that moment, than when He said elementary education, and I was like, oh no. So I'm driving, about to start bawling my eyes out because that's literally the last thing I want to do. Like, I am on my way to this job interview, so I need to look semi-presentable, and I'm like, tears are welling up, and I'm like doing this, trying to look at the road not to cry because I don't want to smear my makeup. And I'm like, okay, God, if this is really what you want me to do, send another sign. And about a minute had passed by, and I was thinking, like, I'm not gonna get another sign because that one was clear as day. Like, I don't know what more I really could have asked for than that sign. Like, I think that was pretty self-explanatory, elementary education. So I'm driving, and as soon as I think that, I pass a semi, and on the back it says, every child is a gift from God. And I'm thinking, Okay, God, I hear you. So obviously I got my son, and obviously I'm going to become an elementary education major, but I just think it's crazy how life changes. Like a month ago, if you would have told me that happened, or that I was going to become an elementary education major, I would have been like, yeah, sure, that's the last thing I'm going to do. Because I had exhausted all my options. Like, I had thought about every major under the sun that I was semi-interested in, and none of them seemed like a good fit. Like, for this semester, I put on my schedule, like, 2 social work classes because it seemed like something I would be interested in. But every time I would bring that up to someone, they would be like, you really want to do that? Like, you don't get paid that much, and it's like emotionally exhausting, and so on and so forth. And finally, so many people said things to me like that I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna do it. I feel like if I just felt like that really wasn't what I needed to do, and that one day God was gonna tell me what I needed to do. So I definitely got my answer, and I texted my mom, and I was like, well, you'll never guess what happened. And I basically just told her everything I've said in this video. And she was like, well, that's awesome. Like, you'll be great at it. You know, that's always like what I wanted you to do, because she really has forever like wanted me to become a teacher. And like I said, it's just always been something I never thought I would see myself as a teacher, but it's not that all of a sudden my mind changed and I'm like, oh yay, I'm gonna be a teacher. But it's that I know God wants me to do this. I'm not going to try and go against it. Like, obviously it's what I'm meant to do. Like, I've had extremely clear signs on what I'm supposed to do with my life, and I'm gonna follow that until it comes true. And like I said before, like, I've always felt like I was supposed to do something really special with my life. And when people would bring up me being a teacher, I would always be like, okay, well, like, what's so special about that? I feel like everyone and their brother becomes a teacher. And I just thought that there was like more to my life. But the more I thought about it, I mean, I feel like everyone has at least one teacher that they've had in their life that has completely changed their life, and I have definitely had one of those teachers, and I love her to death still to this day. And if I could be that person to at least one kid, then that would be making all the difference to me. And I really do think that's why I am at peace with this, even though it's not at all what I expected, it's not at all what I planned. But like I said, God's plan is always better than our plan, whether we realize it or not. One day, it's all going to make sense. And for the longest time, well, not for the longest time, but recently, it's felt like the longest time, but I've really felt like I was just in a season of waiting. Like, I didn't know what I was waiting for, but I just felt like I was going through the motions, and every day I would wake up and it would be the same day over and over again. And now I just feel like, since God spoke to me, I felt really inspired and motivated, because I know that God's plan is still there. Like, his promises are still true. And honestly, it's crazy looking back, knowing that, like, I really had no interest in working in any job that had anything to do with kids. And I see that application for the daycare, and I feel so led to put in that application and go to the interview. And I did end up getting the job, and it's just crazy because I feel like those two things went hand in hand. Like, this is going to be perfect experience for my job one day, and it's kind of just crazy how things work out, even though you don't understand in the moment or you don't see it. But I guess one thing I've learned is to never say never, and really just pray and listen to God when you need an answer. And even though yours may not be as clear as mine, or sometimes no answer is an answer. So, with all this being said, I'm going to go email my advisor and tell him I've decided on a major and start taking classes next semester for my career path. And I'm really excited. So, thank you guys for watching.